It's so weird how stuff works. Like once you like give yourself to the idea of a moral and just world, things start happening. So I saw this woman on TV, and I knew right then when I heard her talk that I was going to meet her someday. And now I'm meeting her. She just came up out of nowhere, and of course I don't know your name because I don't even know my own name sometimes.
Mildred Muhammad.
Mildred Muhammad. Muhammad. You, dude, you are a goddess.
Okay.
You are a goddess to me.
Only by God's permission.
Well, I don't need nobody's permission.
Okay.
I can think what I want.
Yes, ma'am.
And I think that you like speak the truth. So I
Yes,
just so honor you for that, because I like women who really connect it all and for women and the reality of what women face in this crazy world.
Yes, ma'am.
And to be always at the to always be the prey of predators. It's just, we have to change that.
Yes, we do.
And so you said, well, you want to tell your story? I mean,
Well, my former husband was John Allen Muhammad, the DC sniper, and we're here today because mothers of lost children are having a rally to try to bring to focus the crisis in our court system, because unfortunately the children's cries are not being heard. They are being returned to fathers who are molesting, sexually assaulting them, returning them to nurturing mothers, destroyed emotionally, feeling their innocence has been gone or taken away from them.
well,
And
also
so what type
they're
of
holding
emotions?
their kids back from their mothers too. A lot, there's a lot of parental kidnapping too. It's just
There is.
like this big punishment of mothers, and here we are on Mother's Day. What is wrong? What is
Well,
wrong?
Because they are punishing the mothers, understanding how important the children are to them. Children are used as pawns. And so because I choose as a mother to take you to court, then you're going to punish me by kidnapping my children, which is
Right.
what John did to me. He kidnapped our children and took them to Antigua for 18 months without my knowledge. Now that's a federal offense
Yes.
to take children out of the country, but yet the FBI wanted to use me as a decoy to put me in the middle of a parking lot to help to lure him out so that they can return my children to me. I said, excuse me, it's going to be a headshot. So I was warning people all along, just didn't know that at the
You
time
were
of the
his
shooting,
intended victim.
I was his intended target
So what was he doing? Killing all the people around to warm
to
up?
hide my murder.
Oh,
To
then he was
disguise
gonna,
then he's going
Oh,
to come
my
in as the
God.
grieving father to get custody of the children
Oh, my
and then drive
God.
away. Nobody would have thought anything of me. Nobody would have thought to research any of that. So he would have got away with it. And the only way they caught him, which what most people don't know, is when they caught him, they had nothing on him. They didn't file my restraining order in the NCIC, the National Information
Oh, my
Crime Center.
God.
So for 2 years, he was roaming around free. I'm running for my life trying to find my children. Once
Oh,
they
my
catch
God.
him, they have nothing. There was a sheriff in Maryland that was looking for information to hold him on because domestic violence laws are not strong enough to hold anybody. They found the restraining order, put it into NCIC. That is how they held him, because it's a federal offense to have a weapon when you have a restraining order. So once they held him long enough, then they were able to find the DNA on the scope of the weapon, and that's how they were able to prosecute him for the crimes that he committed in this area. But never did they allow the crimes committed against me and my children in the trial. So our domestic violence issues, the kidnapping, the stalking, the coming in the middle of the night, changing the phone numbers, none of that was addressed in court. So all of our spirits are crying out for justice, because if we don't have justice that helps to prevent women, mothers, from losing custody of their children or feeling like the courts are going to help them, then what are we going to do? So if we don't get justice by man's law, then God's law is going to have to take over.
Well, I'm saying Roseanne's law is right here. That's not enough for that's as far as I'm going with it, because I'm going to do it.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not going to wait 2,000 years for somebody to do it for me.
And that's why
I'm
we're
gonna
out
do
here,
it,
because
right?
we're here to say this is enough.
This is
We
it.
have to stop this, and
Tipping point.
if we don't do it, then who will?
Nobody.
If none of us are strong enough to stand up and say stop, then what are we going to do?
That's
Because
right.
we have to do this, and we have to do it collectively, because one voice crying in the wilderness gets no attention, but many voices crying in the wilderness gets lots of attention.
You know what else I think is really important? I appreciate everything you said, and you know what else I think is really important to say is that women can come together despite their differences.
Yes, we can.
All we have to do is find one thing to agree
One
on,
thread.
and in my
One
speech
thread.
today, the one thing that all mothers can agree on is that violent child abusers and pedophiles, murderers of children, people who abuse children, they need to be removed from the planet. Or first of all, send them to another planet, but then you start thinking, well, if they did, they're going to take all the money with them, because all the money it will take to build the spaceship to get their ass up there, that's all the money we got. So I got a solution, and as you know, my solution is the guillotine for all guilty, all proven guilty in capital crimes, which are warmongering in my new world, warmongering and pedophilia, the two capital crimes. Everyone proven guilty of those things, warmongering and pedophilia, is going to go here to the blessed lady, guillotine. I believe in justice for offenders, and a lot of women don't. Isn't that weird? That's why I think it goes on. Because you see, like, women always freak out if it comes to a man is getting ready to get punished. They all freak out. They just fall all over themselves. They cannot let men bear the weight of, like they can't, with their own kids, they let the boys off the hook all the time. They never have to go through they never have to hit the wall or go through consequences. The sons of the mothers. So I think till women like really are taking action rather than sitting back and waiting for action to be given to them or power to be given to them, I think we need desperately to, we got to just stop and start all over again.
Well, I say what you have to do is we have to stop reacting and start acting.
You're right. So I think we have to start at that place where we totally restructure every single system in the world, don't we?
Yes, we do.
But luckily we can do it because we know how, right?
We can do it, but we have to do it collectively because we can't do it as individuals. We see that is not going to happen. But if we can all just come to the table, stand out one agenda, stand on that agenda, and make sure that we all move out collectively, then we can bring justice in the form that it should be for all people, especially for the children. Because if we are concerned about the future of our children, then what is the emotional state of the children that we are letting loose on society right now?
So you're here to discuss the broken court system, but that's what you're really talking about is the broken court system, right? That's returning children to a
It's a corrupt system as well, because there is a whole cottage industry of professionals who are making hundreds of thousands of dollars by placing children in harm's way. When children, if they were placed with the safe mother and the father was given supervised visitation, which is what it's created for, when there is a dangerous parent, then the court system would be working smoothly. Children would be safe.
But the judges, they don't. They're guilty. They're guilty.
That's right.
What do we do with guilty judges? What do we do?
In our society, judges are untouchable.
Yes,
And
they are.
we equate this crisis to the Catholic Church pedophile
exactly
scandal
like that.
because there is no accountability in the court system, and there is a desperate need for justice. 58,000 children a year in America are being placed into dangerous homes with parents that they say have beaten, raped, or molested them. That is an outrage, and it's a human rights scandal that nobody is covering in this country. And this is a historic day because women are finally coming out of their silence.